see.
Oh yeah,
Okay, we are live.
All right, we are live. Welcome everyone. I just have to quickly set up on my end. And thank you for tuning in again. This is the last three marketer show of the decade. You know, I was just reminded by Maverick just now. Seriously, it's already the last few days of the decade, and in a couple of days' time, we're entering the new decade. Wow, it's so crazy that 2020.
Episode 15.
This is our episode 15. Welcome in, everyone. This is the Three Marketer Show. I'm your host, Jason, and this is what we do, right? Every Wednesday at 10 p.m., we go live for an hour to discuss about one specific topic about digital marketing. So we try to go as broad as we can, and we have been inviting awesome people to talk about specific topics since, many weeks ago. And this week, we have a very, very heavyweight guest here. You know, he's probably the best guy to talk about copywriting. So, I know Maverick from a few joint classes that we did together through MDEC and all. So, but we didn't actually spend much time to discuss or to chat about how we can actually, learn from each other. But I think Andrew knows Maverick a lot better. So before, we pull in everything, we would have Andrew to actually do a quick introduction. But before that, if you have any questions regarding copywriting and anything you want to actually, address it to, I want to post it over to Maverick and we'll probably seek his advice. Feel free to always post in the comment section. We will pick up your questions and we will bring it up, and and we will actually poke Maverick and get whatever we can from his great mind over there, right? So Andrew, you're out. Please share with us about Maverick.
Sure.
Right.
I first received a cold email from Maverick, I think a couple of years back. And at that time, I was actually looking for, good Malaysian-based copywriters I could learn. And when I saw that email, that email was promoting a course for a former radio DJ.
Richard Lefebvre.
Yes, but I wasn't, I wasn't interested in Richard, but instead I was interested in the guy who was promoting it. I said, okay, this guy, the way he writes his email is something different, So that's how I went ahead and did the research. I went to your page, PD Labs, at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's how we sort of got to know. I knew Maverick first before I got to know Jason, in actual fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was the Selangor event, and I've always looked up to Maverick because he's somehow or other he has a talent with words, and he's witty as well. So his style of writing is interesting to read. You, especially your Friday newsletter sometimes that you have every Friday.
Oh yes.
Yeah. But so that's how when I was talking about, we were discussing about copywriting, the first name that came to mind besides Kenneth. So I said, okay, I knew Maverick a bit more than Kenneth. So that's why I said, why don't we get our master copywriter to come on board and end the year before we start 2021.
Yep.
It's really the awesome way to end the year, man. Seriously. Now, Maverick, we definitely talk about copywriting. Then we definitely have to start with the most important question. But before that, Maverick, can you share with us a little bit more about what you are actually currently doing? You were sharing about your latest coming new project next year. Is there anything that you would like to actually introduce yourself, share with us about, please tell the audience a little bit more about your current project and things that's going to come.
Oh, sure. So hey guys, I'm Maverick here, co-founder of Authority Institute. Ex-Buddhist monk, single dad, college dropout, and that's where I am today. So started 9 businesses, and together with my business partner, Datuk James, he started 80 over. So I guess combined, we have 90 plus startups in terms of experience. So in 2021, actually we have been, the reason why we are called Authority Institute is that because we help SMEs position themselves as the authorities in their field. Because think about this, when you think about low cost tickets, the first name that pops to mind is AirAsia. When you think about shoes, Nike, Reebok, the Adidas, the name will come up. But are they necessarily the best products? Not all the time. Okay, sorry, Nike fans. If you ask me, Skechers make way better comfortable shoes for old men like me, or hush puppies, right? And then is AirAsia the cheapest all the time? Not really. Like last year when I was in Taiwan for a month, Cathay Pacific was actually the cheapest. I get to visit Hong Kong some more during the riots. So, but it doesn't stop the market from like thinking hey, you know what, I better check AirAsia first. Why? Because they are the authorities when it comes to low cost carrier. And then
You have the
shoes,
mind
Nike. Yeah,
share lah.
yeah. So how can SMEs become like that as well? Because don't forget, AirAsia started off as an SME as well for a short time before they got their capital injection. Nike also all businesses, even Facebook or Grab, they all started off small. But along the way, they become the market leader, which means that if you can replicate the success, so SMEs can also become the authority lah. So like I'm known in the areas of copywriting or email. In my last 17 years, nobody have come and asked me, hey Maverick, you know how to steam fish or not? You know how to fried rice or not? Because I can literally cook myself to the hospital. So that's not an area I'm an authority in. So I think moving in 2021, I think why being a market leader is important is because the shitty thing about COVID is customers are exposed to regional and international stuff. Because for a short while, when we couldn't get the stuff we wanted locally, we actually, when we go to Lazada, we try to order from overseas and all that. And then after that, we realized that, hey, actually, we can get a lot of stuff overseas. I can attend training and whatnot. So if the local players don't position themselves well, you actually have an international arena to play with. So like Jason, I know you do a lot of Facebook ads, for example. So last time maybe you can play in Southeast Asia and all that, the market is rich. But during the last couple of months, the buggers from like US, Europe, they start doing their courses and whatnot. And guess what? The Malaysians business owners or your future clients, they have been exposed to it. So now their mind shift really, oh, I don't have to take from Jason or Andrew or Maverick anymore. I can actually take from someone outside. So now, you guys basically, or even me, myself included, we have to reposition ourselves to say that, hey, our content is either localized, we understand the local market a lot better. Look at my clientele, they are all in locals, they are not more companies and whatnot. So that message was not necessary earlier this year. But next year and the next few years, I think it's going to be a big thing because customers are becoming smarter already.
Definitely. I totally agree because I was always sharing with my students because also because I would say shitty COVID, but I have to thank COVID because it actually changed my business model and now we are more international facing. I've actually learned with more than, actually in the past few months itself, we have learned with 500 over people from not just Southeast Asia, even people from US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia and all that, just because of the, like what you say, people realize that they have the ability and this is what we call the accelerated digital evolution. Even my dad started ordering things online, then you can tell how much it impacted our life, you see. But, but when it comes to digital marketing, you see, Maverick, there are different school of thought. Different people will have different perception. As in, like certain people would think that, that let's say when we talk about, of course, we want to talk about website and then the so-called the digital assets that we own, even our Facebook page and all that. A lot of people will have different focus. Certain people will say that I must have beautiful picture, good video. I've spent a lot of money to do super awesome video. But at the end of the day, why do you think, I'm drawing the first blood here, why do you think copywriting is one of the, if not the most important element when it comes to position yourself in terms of getting started to become the authority, like what you mentioned just now?
Okay, so actually just now you mentioned something interesting because right now, if you go to liveinternetstats.com, you'll see a lot. Internet activity has gone up by at least 30 to 35% year on year, starting this year. So which means that there are actually more and more people actually online right now. And it's evident because if you look at your Facebook timeline, there are just shitloads of ads. And last time you may only see local ads, but now you actually start seeing stuff from the international. So there's actually a lot more noise in the market right now. So if your copywriting is not done well, not only can you cut through the noise, you will be suppressed, you cannot create attraction, and worse, you cannot create demand. Create attraction is getting people to look at you. Creating demand means getting them to actually want what you're actually offering. So there are three levels. So everybody else is generating noise. The better copywriters, those with some copywriters, they will actually generate attraction, but the best are the ones who are always generating demand. So the key, and the only way to achieve it is with, I think over time is also the cost. So, we still have time so we can actually do this. So if you ask me when it comes to how you get results when it comes to marketing, if the first thing is actually to look at buyer's insights. So this one cannot run. If the more you understand the customer, the better. The second thing is actually your copywriting power, which means that how well you are when it comes to wording and stuff like this. The last thing is actually your marketing dollars.
This become a course already. Awesome. I like this.
So it's a lot.
Can we copy down this inside the comments so that our audience who
Yeah, go ahead, man. Anytime. So where most business owners get it wrong is that when I ask them, hey, these three things which one do you think is the most important? Of course, marketing dollar lah. I got more money, I can pay already ma. Don't forget, this month you can pay. Next month you can pay. Can you guarantee every month you can continuously non-stop put 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000? But if you spend some time to understand the buyer's insight, why are customers actually buying your stuff? And second, you spend some time to learn copywriting and whatnot. These are one-time investments that you can actually use for a long time. Yeah. So if you ask me in terms of importance, I would say this one is 3x, this one is 2x, this one is 1x. So that's why I'm not saying that marketing dollars are not important. It is, but if you actually spend time to understand the customer first, why are they actually buying you, buying your products and whatnot? Because like Jason, I know you do Facebook courses. I'll be honest, there are a lot of other people who offer the same. So why the customers follow you or why they buy you, you have some USPs, okay? And the best way is actually to ask them more. So when Authority Institute started back then, we have a client who actually, we asked, hey, actually, why you chose us? They say, oh, because you are old. So we are like, shit, that's actually not the best compliment. But I said, oh, no, not old, means you're seasoned, you're got business experience. So we were trying to appear young because a lot of the digital marketers are young. You see, like Jason is so young, right? But then we know that we cannot compete with that because, and as young as Jason is, there are even younger digital marketers coming to the game every day. So they like tune with TikTok lah, can do this lah. You see, I also know how to do that and all that. So sometimes we can't even keep up anymore. But then we realize that, oh, it's actually our combined years of experience. We have taken businesses from offline to online before. That's the reason why the clients actually choose us. And as a marketing consultancy firm, we did not figure it out on our own. We actually have to ask. So if you ask me how do you know buyer's insight? Simple. The next time when you close a client, just go and ask them, hey, can I know why you buy from me? But make sure you collect money first. You haven't collect money, they go very far off. It's like, yeah, Andrew, what should I buy from you? Then, so once everything is done, collect money, then just ask. Because sometimes so when we ask this to our group, our clients say that, because you provide the A to Z. So we used to say complete 360 and all that, but the client's words was A to Z. And you know what? We use their word. So when they say, oh, because you guys are bullshit free, of course we can't use the word bullshit. So they say no fluff and all that. And a couple of people mentioned that no fluff. So guess what? We basically use that in our copywriting as well. So we don't become good copywriters just because we are talented. I think because you have to start listening first. Like they say, God give you 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? So you have to listen more. Although I can argue that God give me 2 hands so I can write both sides, right? But you know what? I'm not gonna. God has already tested us this year, so God, forget.
Maverick, can I add something more? Yeah, you mentioned why me? I also like to add one more thing is you should ask your client, I said, why now also? Why me? Why now?
Why me? Why now? Yeah. Actually, the 3 questions is why this? Why digital marketing? Why me? And why now? Good point, Manfred.
Awesome. Wow. I mean, that actually pretty much sums up about what actually, what are we able to look at when we're actually looking at copywriting. But I think a lot of people would like to learn something about how do we learn good copywriting. Is there any insights that you can share with us, which is, is there any way that we can actually effectively learn copywriting in a faster way or in a more effective manner? What would be your take on this, Maverick?
Okay, so the tough thing is that, like Andrew, I have this thing with swipe files. I use swipe files to refer, but you must know what type of lens you need to read the swipe files from. Yep. So I always see that people want to download other people's swipe files, but you have to understand that the way they write may not
Context is different.
Yeah, context is different. So they don't know how to break down, and then they end up copying, and then it didn't work. One sales copy can work, can make $1 million, but you copy the same thing, you just change it to your stuff, it may not work for your audience. Why? Because again, it goes back to buyer's insights. Look.
Yep.
So for me, but having said that, having teaching copywriting for so many years, I realized when you give people a blank piece of paper, it's always very hard for them to write something. So usually what I tell them is that, let's say there are 5 levels when it comes to copywriting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You at the start, you use templates, okay? Like how do you start and all that. You use templates to fill in the blanks and all, because that is a lot easier for you to start. But please know that it will only bring you to level 3. Okay, to basically go to level 4 and level 5, you have to basically say, hey, Mav, here's your template, take back. I want to start my own. I want to do my own style. That is at level 4 or level 5. But if I straight away want to bring you to level 4 and level 5, most people will die standing. They can't even write with the empty piece of paper. So usually you have to give them templates. So that's why you see blog posts, right? How to benefit 1 and benefit 2. 7 ways to benefit 1 and all that. So that is actually to help you get to level 3. But after that, you realize, then sometimes they come with the controversial one. It's like, I thought the beggar was a poor man until I saw this. Then clickbait lah. So that is like level 4 or even higher. But you need to have some form of context or experience first. So I guess what we do at Authority Institute is that we try to give the templates. But whenever we give out a template, we always tell them that please, this is only to, like, it's like bicycle. Eventually,
it should be used for inspiration rather than to.
Yeah,
copy.
you need to you use the bicycle. Eventually, you need to have the 2 wheels, front and back. But I'm putting on the training wheels first to get your confidence started. Because if not, you won't even start riding the bike at all. But one day you must know that you must remove the training wheels. True. So when it comes to I hope that answers your question. I can't remember what it was. Why copywriting?
How to learn good copywriting?
Yeah, how to learn good copywriting. I muted myself, because.
Yeah. Okay. So I will tell you this will be an unfair advantage, but because I can write poetry. Okay. So like this one before we started, we were talking about a lot of Kenneth Yu. If you have the chance, you can invite him for this show as well for next year. Definitely, because there's no more this year. So he used to write lyrics, and then a couple of copywriters that I know personally, when I asked them, hey, can I know last time, do you write music, or do you write lyrics, or do you write poetry or some form of word art? And always the good ones, the answer was yes. Okay, it's either they are good in music or something. Then it occurred to me that because most of us, when we read something until today, we are still reading one time in our head. There's this little voice inside. So if the voice don't sound nice, then they will say, this copy is not interesting and stuff like this. So if you look at a lot of the rings, for example, some people don't like to read it, but it's actually very poetry, especially those people who love it, right? And they can read it again and again and again. So there's a certain sound. So like, for example, energize, equip, empower, EEE, you can start the same. People always try to look for patterns in chaos. Maximize, emphasize, recognize. So you can start with the N as well. So when you use this type of words inside your copywriting, right, it makes it easier. Okay, so these are some cheats that I can basically but end of the day, you still have to go back to buyer's insight first. You have to understand why they actually buy your stuff. Okay, then you need to hit the pain point. It's just that maybe you need to use their words rather than yours, and then combine with some poetry, I guess it will work. So for me, because I'm an oldie as well, I never really love the songs of the new era. I always like those in the past. Why? Because they bother to rhyme their songs. Nowadays, the songs don't even freaking rhyme on. It's like simply just throw words, and then come out so
it's
there's
noise rather than melody.
Yeah, noise. Yeah, so like even Chinese, so because I used to be from Chinese school, right? So there's always like 7 words, and then now got 7, 11, 6, 5. I'm like, and then in between they just and then go to the next sentence. Hey, that's like cheating.
Fill in the blanks.
Yeah, right. Of course, some people always say that because back then they were smoking a lot of stuff, so that's why they come up with great shit, right? But then to become a good copywriter, you just try smoking. If it works, it works. Well, disclaimer: this is not a recommendation, but
No, not from us, not from the three marketers, not from Maverick as well. This is
It's an observation.
it's a hearsay. Someone say that, that's why Maverick was just quoting. That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, okay, awesome. So basically, I agree with you. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people can't write. I think in a way, I personally can't really write well.
But I think a good way, another tip that came to mind, Jason, is that, sorry to interrupt.
Sure, please.
If someone can let you see the difference between a normal copywriting and a good one, after you see a few times, right? And then if you can break down the structure, you see why this one is better because they start like this, and all that, and you notice the words that they use. So if they train, it's like you are driving without your proper lenses, and then suddenly I give you the lens, then you suddenly can recognize that, oh, because of this sentence, that's why it's better and whatnot. So I think to educate them, they must first be able to know the difference between normal, average copywriting and good copywriting. Most people actually can't tell the difference.
Okay. Same topic, must be same topic.
Yeah, must be same topic, but it's like two ways of writing it, and then you show it to them. The first thing is that they must be able to differentiate first. If they can't even differentiate good writing and bad writing, right, then pointers really low. So that's why when it comes to hiring copywriters, here's a tip for most people who are listening in. If you hire a copywriter, it's going to be more expensive because they are good, right? Because they can get sales and whatnot. But if you have to train a copywriter, go to university, those who finish writing, journalism and all that. When you want to interview them on the spot, ask them to write something, which is about 1 A4 page on the spot. Don't ask them to prepare. Just give them a prompt. You saw a cat jumping off the bridge, and then ask them to continue. It doesn't even have to make sense. But whatever they write, if it's not interesting, they are not good enough. Because the first thing of copywriting is they must be able to tell a story. So if you cannot tell a story, whether you can close the sale with a story or not, that is something else. We can teach later. But if you can't even write a story or can't even tell a story, it's going to be a bit hard. Yeah, so that's how we really choose.
Awesome. Then we have a spin-off question over here, which is, Maverick just shared with us, how do you interview a new copywriter, whether this person is trainable to become a good copywriter in the future. Right. It has to be somebody who is able to just, quickly just create a story or tell a story from nothing, even it's really something that is like impromptu and just plucked out of the thin air, and even it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to the question, to the point that you shared with us just now, where it's good that we can actually see comparison between, you were saying the first element is you need to be able to differentiate whether what is good and what is bad. Yes. How do we do that? Is there any way, like learning from you, or what else?
Well, either you can look, I think there are a couple of copywriting examples out there that are good, right? So the bad thing is that they only show you the good one. They don't show you the normal one. So you need to go and find the normal one somewhere in the same industry. But you want to look at the good ones. Pharmaceutical is one of the best, especially those that are selling diabetic or those kind of products.
Those are tough to write.
Yeah, one of the toughest. Kenneth Yu writes that. So because you can make millions from it literally. So that's why those writers are those who write pharmaceutical stuff, or that one's one of the best, if you ask me. So study good copywriting at the start, see their structure, and I think this is a good place to start from there. So I think a good metaphor is that if you have always been driving a Toyota, and then you will look at the Lexus and you think that, it's just another Toyota with the L only. But if you've been inside a Lexus, quite different. Okay, so they need to be in the Lexus to understand, there's actually a difference. It's not a high-end Toyota because it's totally different.
Right.
Can I add something?
Yes,
Maverick.
I did share with the others before, but not Maverick. Pharmaceutical, yes, really. I saw one advertisement before. They said, warning, if your erections last longer than 4 hours, please consult a doctor. Viagra. Really, as in, they're not telling you, they are giving you a warning. No, they're not they're hinting you that the erection will last more than 4 hours. As in,
that's smart, right?
Yeah, smart lah. And they cannot promise you more than 4 hours. Then when people eat this kind of pill, what they wanted as long as possible in terms of the period lah. So that one-liner, well, is everything encapsulated into it. The other one I come across is this line: Happy Father's Day for those who never use Durex.
Oh, Durex, yeah.
For those who don't use
That's good.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
So one-liner. So in a way, these are really classics. No? So in a way, do we really need to reduce that into one sentence? Is this the formula or is this a standard?
Not necessary, because when I teach copywriting, right, I usually don't tell people, oh, you need to be 7 words or 8 words or 9 words, because what if your epic headline is 10 words? No matter how you cut, it's 10 words. You know what? Just use it, because if it's interesting enough, people will read, people will watch. So the reason why it has to be short is sometimes because if on an email, Andrew, you know this as well, if it's too long, sometimes they don't see the last few words on the phone. But that should be the only reason. Other than that, don't keep on limit like, oh, must be 7 words, must be 5 words. I think that just hampers creativity, because, okay, like most people say that a good movie is 2 hours. But guess what? Avengers Endgame is 3 hours long. And the best part is that it's so freaking interesting. The body function can stop working. You don't need to pee, man. In the 3 hours, you don't need to pee at all.
Zumba.
Yeah. And then after that, and credit come out. Oh, no. Marvel always got end credit on. You wait some more, wait for the extra 15 minutes, and then nothing, just a tong 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 sound on it. So you go out to the toilet. Girls, I don't know how you pee, but guys, as we are standing in the urinal and we pee, unload, right? We realize that, wow, actually my bladder quite big also. Yeah, because then the thing is interesting enough. Netflix, when we binge watch, when we read a book, like sometimes certain books, you pick up the book within one sitting, you can finish. But ask you to read the business book, 4 years cannot read finish one. Right?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
So it has nothing to do with the length anymore. It's actually as long as interesting, people will read it. Yeah.
Right. That's good. That will lead us to one of the questions that coming from the audience. We have Chiwai. Chiwai is our fourth marketer. So Chiwai has a question for Maverick. He says, what is your take when it comes to creative writing for Facebook ads? Do we follow Facebook's suggestion on words limit, or should we go for long copy? Which one is your preference and why? I mean, that is kind of like Chiwai. Chiwai always has an angle to pull everything back to Facebook, you see. But I think that's a very interesting question.
Yeah, it is.
We would like to hear from you.
Sure. Okay. First, it depends on what product you sell. If you're selling like Apple Pencil, marker, stuff that you can get off Lazada, frankly, the only copywriting you need is the price point. Because other than that, because it's a commoditized thing already, right? So, but having said that, if you're selling something that's conceptual, which means the person cannot see that kind, I am a strong supporter of long form copywriting. Okay, because some people say that so long nobody read one. The fact that they read, you already filter off, because a lot of people don't understand that. They think, hey, I want to get a lot of leads. Giving you 1,000 leads, and then after that you have to go and go on the call with them, qualify them, and end of the day you only get 10. I'm saying you have a bad nurturing process. Actually in a way a bad filtering process, because 1,000 leads come in, after ting tong everything, only 10 you get. So what? And you're wasting a lot of time. You're actually churning through 900 plus leads that don't make sense just to get the other 10. But what if through the long copywriting, because it's so interesting and you are pressing on the right hot buttons and all that, and they read, so you don't get 1,000, maybe you get 100. But from the 100 itself, if you get 10, hey man, you just need to burn through 90 instead of 990. Yeah. So this one was in a way indirectly taught to me by Vishen Lakiani from Mindvalley. So when they first started, because they are like one of the coolest company in the world, the Google, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of people want to apply to join Mindvalley. So the moment they put out a job posting, it's like, boom, like 2,000 over people applied. So it's like, oh man, how am I going to go through 2,000 applications? So he decided to put a criteria: shoot a cover video. Shoot a cover video of yourself on why, on yourself, not even selling yourself or why you should join a company, just shoot a cover photo. From 2,000, it went down to 200. So in a way, they have already filtered off. If not, Vision would have literally had to go through 1,800 people who would not have fit because they assess the attitude, is not right already. So in that case, to me, different people will have different opinions. For me, if you're selling something conceptual, long form, only if you are limited by the platform. Like for example, long form, you can't really do it on LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn, I don't know why until today, Rick Hoffman still must have 1,300 characters. What if my story long a bit? Cannot. So
yeah, that's a frustrating part.
What's the problem? Even videos are maximum 10 minutes only, like so cheap, right? Like the space very expensive, that kind. Anyway, but of course, bearing in mind Facebook headlines, for example, always test on the mobile because you can write as long as you want, but sometimes the backwards kena potong lah, kena cut. So that is only the few times where I would say, okay, then no choice, we have to cut or make it concise because it's limited by the platform. You will always be limited. Like when you go on billboards, if you think writing on Twitter is difficult, try going on billboards, man. Billboards is even harder because you have even lesser words to actually
character count.
Yeah, character count and stuff like this. So SMS marketing and whatnot. So long is good. If you can, that's why I think if you can go long lah. That's why emails can go as long as you want. But
Yes.
if you're whenever you're limited by the platform, then you have to comply to the rule of what to do.
Right. Awesome. Thank you so much for the question first, Chiwa, and thank you for the answer, Maverick. Now, what if you are actually joining us just you stumble upon this video and all that? What you're watching now is the Three Marketers Show. I'm your host, Jason. I have my co-hosts, Manfred and Andrew over here. And every week we do one live session like this for an hour to discuss about one specific topic about digital marketing. And today we have Maverick. Maverick is the guy that you need to talk to, when you really want to get serious about copywriting. And Maverick is sharing with us, his perspective for a lot of questions that we have actually drafted for him. But if you have any questions specifically about copywriting, feel free to type in the comment below. It's all good. All questions are welcome, and we will do our best to address your questions, right? So before I go next to the next question, basically, remember, this is where we go live every Wednesday at 10 p.m. If you're watching this, remember to hit the follow or like, or if you're watching this on YouTube or on Spotify or iTunes, where we are at, everywhere, remember to hit the follow and subscribe button to make sure that you'll be notified whenever we go live. Now, I want to bring back to the next question we have here from Maverick. We got interrupted a little bit just now because it was actually on the floor. I wanted to look at it further. You were saying that pharmaceutical are usually of good copywriting. What are the other topics, or what are the other so-called industries that should possibly we should refer to in order to look for good copywriting? That's to train ourselves, to get ourselves into Lexus, BM, Mercedes, or whatnot, right? We need to actually train ourselves on that. So would you be able to elaborate a little bit more on that? Share with me more on that?
Okay, if you go into a market where it is, the more competitive it is, usually the copywriting gets better. So like, let's say if you are the only one holding the product in the whole of Malaysia, for example, technically you have no competition, then you won't see the need of copywriting because technically you're the only one holding it. So you just need to be a bit better. In terms of market sophistication, you're at level 1. You basically dominated the market already. But truth be told, thanks to China, there's hardly any first thing in the market. Within 2 or 3 weeks, there's already something else. So if you ask me what industries to be, just like you mentioned a couple of car companies. Yes, car companies, they get it right. Personally, actually Mind Valley has really good copywriting as well. So I like to look at anything that is more conceptual, because physical products, I'm not saying that physical products don't need copywriting. You still need, like Tesla really well copywriting. Apple, obviously, that's one of the better ones. And if you want, check out churches that are actually doing really well. Kingdom City is one of them. So because if you ask me what's the longest lasting product in the world, it's actually religion. So religion, language have changed, borders, going across cultures and all that, and the market have changed so many times already, like great-grandparents, ancestors from don't know how to speak English to English, and yet the product until today it still exists. So okay, you can say that because of the Almighty God and whatnot, or Buddha, or whatnot, but if you just put that aside, and we look at religion as a product on its own, it actually can stay, because there are some religions that didn't last that long. They couldn't pass it on as long. So I love to look at Christianity because they are in a way very modern as well. So they managed to like use either marketing or copywriting. Okay, so for the pastors who are listening in, I'm sorry, I don't want to compare religion, but truth be told, sometimes when you look at even churches, where they place churches, right? So of course the pastors will say, oh, it's a will of God, that's why we have to put the church there. But if you put that one aside for a while, you actually realize that successful churches always built around communities. There's always a hospital nearby, there's always a school nearby. So if you look at a few, and you started to notice the trend, so okay, maybe like the God has shined light on that spot that day, but if let's say I don't see the light, I can still duplicate the success in one way if I replicate these things over here. So that's the reason why people say when you want to be good in marketing, right, study religion. Because if you study history of how religion propagate from one country to another country, one culture to another culture, you would have understood marketing, because no product have lasted that long. But if you want to be good at branding, study Korea. Because 30 years ago, nobody cares where Korea is. Right now, there's K-pop, K-drama, K-economy. They just won an Oscar. And in the next couple of years, I won't be surprised, a couple of Asian American actors will actually win Best Actor already. So, and yeah, because 30 years ago, Korea is just another OEM place only. But the fact that they can brand it best product to study actually. So
yeah, okay, that's cool. I mean, we have picked up a few things definitely, and one of the surprising one is really, I agree. I think definitely religion is one of the longest lasting, especially those churches.
Yeah, but no offense to Eric, just be objective lah, you know.
No, I think totally agree. I mean, it's not being whatever. We were trying to discuss how can we actually learn from the best, and we're saying you guys are the best, right? Yeah. Now, Chiwai has a follow-up question. Now, he was actually seeking for clarification, whereby, Chiwai says, can I ask in clarity again, what were the few template keywords? He was looking for deeper again, that is good to guide us newbies to raise the copy structure to level 1 to 3. You say like energize, etc. Would you be able to just, I would try to type in as much as I can.
So a couple of things. So when it comes to headlines, if you do the how to how to fix a broken heart, how to win friends and influence people, because how always promises a solution. Because we always ask, how, Manfred? How? So it offers a solution. So when someone click on it in their mind, psychologically, it's like, oh, when I click this guy is going to promise me some form of solution. Okay, so that's one way. So that's one option for you. The second option is that if you can do like 3 ways to achieve something, like 3 ways to score a hot chick before Chinese New Year, 3 dishes that you must eat before you die, stuff like this. Why the number 3 is because, or 3, 5, or 7 usually it works really well, because when they click on it, it's like, okay lah, now Manfred say got 7 things I must eat. Even if I can eat the one thing, good already, it's worth it already. So that's what goes through their psychology again. So again, this is not something that come out because once you study them enough. So that's why if you go to, we can look at this right now actually. So if you go to, let's say Google, you go to, this is called, for those of you who do blogging, this will make sense. Those of you who don't, then it's just entertaining. Okay, so let's say you type in something like wedding gift ideas, right? Okay, let me just zoom in so everyone can see. Okay, so okay, ignore the ad.
Is okay. You can share screen.
Oh no, it's fine. This one I think is good. Ignore the ads at the top. So the first one is 23 best wedding gift ideas. And then you scroll down 58. Wow, got 58. Scroll further down. 73. You know what? We would tend to look for the biggest number. Okay, so this don't apply in, don't take something buta lah. Mary say, must put 73, then must put 73. No, it's, when it comes to blogging, this one is SEO. Because psychologically, why I will go for the 73, even though it's not the highest, is because this bugger only give 23 only. I waste time only reading. This one got give me 58. Let me check further down. 73. So they will go for the one that's, oh, this 102 can win already.
Walao.
Yeah, because in the mind of the customer, it's like, if I go through this 102, impossible one, boko leng one, impossible, I cannot get one idea. But if I go through the 23 one, maybe all the idea I cannot pakai. Yeah, so that's why once you understand the psychology behind it, Chiwa, it's a lot easier. So that's one. And then after that, if you can always follow this, I didn't create this. This has always been in ads until today. The format system, which means that if you can start with why, what, how, and the call to action, and the flow must always be like this, which means that your first sentence must be the why. Okay, it's like, why should I be reading this? So you must answer it. So like Air Asia, again, their tagline, everyone can fly. I'm pretty sure when Tony Fernandez mentioned, hey, this is my slogan, everyone can fly. No idiots in the room, I would say, hey, why, Tony? Why you want to make everyone fly? No one will ask that. They will ask, okay, what must I do to fly? You say everyone can fly, right? What concept you're using? What thing you're doing? Are you going to give us ganja or something? Or how? You say everyone can fly, how? Or some people will say, hey, Tony, here's the money, take it. I want to fly right now. So even when you go to Chichongkai or you go to like Chatuchak in Bangkok, you go and search around, you just look at all the pasar malams and stuff like this. Usually the salespeople, they may not be very proactive lah. They let you see. But the moment how do they know that you are interested? Because
how much? Ask for price.
How much? Then suddenly you see the buyer mouth open already. They are ready to, because if not, this Andrew guy, he just looking only lah.
Look see.
Yeah, because how is actually the trigger. Okay, but having said that, even though I say you start with how over here, but in a proper copywriting format, you have to start with the why first. We tend to make the mistake of going to the how. It's like, hey, let me show you how to solve this problem. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And then the reader will be like, what problem? You didn't set the context. So the context is actually in the why. It doesn't have to be long. It's just a context. And then after that, then you talk about the details. Then you talk about the nitty-gritty, the features, and then the call to action. So you can follow this. Just now we talk about lenses, right? The next time when you see a good copywriting, when you read that time, how you know it's a good copywriting? You actually read until finish lah. The fact
makes sense.
You watch, you can watch until even though the product you know you never buy one, like Jingsu knife can cut the shoe one. You want to cut what shoe? You buy the shoe. You buy a knife just to cut the shoe. Don't make sense, right? But you know what? You watch it. Okay, the next time you watch back the advertisement, I guarantee you they got follow this format one. They start with the why, the what, the how, and the call to action. They can go around that any newspaper ad that is good, any email that is done well, they will always have this format. So which means that you need to transfer this format over to your copywriting as well. Even if it is just Twitter ads, even though it's very short, you have to focus on the why. This one they've been using since 1970s, man. So I guess it still works until today.
Maverick, one question.
Yeah, man.
The numbers are all these are 23, all these are 102. Does it necessarily always try to keep it as odd numbers?
Hard to say.
Hard to say.
In emails, I do know 3, 5, 7, 9, and 10 work better than 2, 4, 6, 8. Don't ask me why. So after so many years of split testing, 3, 5, 7, 9, they are odd numbers, but 10 actually can outperform as well. Okay. So anything longer than that, your email will tend to be a bit long. So, but if let's say you're doing a blog post and whatnot, I think you can go beyond 10. But usually 7 is kind of like the sweet spot. 7 habits are highly effective people. 7 days. Yeah.
I can't find the reasons why as well.
Sorry?
I can't find the reasons why it works, but there's nobody can seem to be able to answer why it is.
But is this applicable for copywriting?
Yeah, it is. So if let's say if you got 4 methods to do something, you say three methods. People will click the 3 one more than the 4 one. But of course, if you want to put the 4th one inside, then you just put bonus tip at the bottom or something. So that one's fine. but the title itself must be 3579.
All numbers, because all numbers stick out, so people will pay attention.
I don't know, man. Some people say that, oh, because in our mind, anything that is odd, we try to make it even. But even as I tell you this, it sounds like bullshit. So I don't think it is. It's just, I don't know
It's
why.
just what the way it is.
Yeah. Correct. If you want to do one, then it has to be the only thing. So then it also add, then that one is, oh shit, I have to read the email because it's the only thing. The scarcity, FOMO, all that comes in again. So you see, actually, copywriting and I think marketing in general has a lot to do with psychology. Nothing to do, I think technology is useful, but technology come and go, ma. Some of you are on Friendster before, right?
Yeah.
Last time Friendster is like, oh, you're not on Friendster, Jason, loser lah, you.
Loser, and when Facebook came out, it cannot go on Facebook one. It's like so easy.
Yeah, that Facebook, 骗人 one.
Now you want to play game only one. You ended up to go there lah. That's the thing. So awesome, man.
Technologies will shift, and I think WhatsApp, they just announced, right? They're gonna start doing ads on WhatsApp as well. So I think if we learn something that is too tech driven, there could be a danger of us being phased out. What if like Apple and Facebook right now, there's a huge issue. I don't know how. Maybe it's just media publicity. Remember last time Samsung want to sue Apple want to sue Samsung. Actually, I don't even know what's the outcome of the case. But
no idea.
It's basically just, I think Steve Jobs just called Samsung one day, hey, how much is your marketing budget? 1 million, right? Okay, you know what? You put 1 million, I put 1 million, I sue you sue me. You know what? We got publicity in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
I hope China and US is not really doing the same thing.
Yeah, probably doing the similar thing. Now, I want to bring up a question from Richard.
Just the suckers over here watching, right?
Now, we have a question from Richard. Says, Facebook is sensitive to copy that are identifying people. How to go about that? But
yeah, I mean, that's correct. I can not like, okay, like for example, one of the best tips when it comes to copywriting, right, is like, instead of using we, like we all know that Najib is a crook. I'm not talking about Najib Razak, I'm talking about Najib, somebody else.
Some other Najibs lah.
Yeah, we all know that Najib is a crook. But the moment you change it to you and I, like you and I know that Najib is a crook. That's inclusive languaging. I'm actually including you in the conversation. But of course, grammar teachers will say that, oh no lah, you cannot say you and I, you must say we. But even Facebook right now, I see they actually tend to pick up the usage of you.
Oh yes.
And your.
Yeah, so that's one of the killer. It's a very good strategy, but Richard, you're right. Because they are just sensitive. The moment you are insinuating something, it's like, are you suggesting that I am a crook? Then the bots will come in and, you know, nowadays they would like close off your account first and then after that talk later, that kind of, which is.
Mine just got an ad rejected because of personal attributes. And I only had one U inside the headlights.
Yeah. I know one video where I say, hey, if you want to convert your Facebook friends into paying customer, also cannot. Because I mentioned Facebook friends. Yeah, but I'm talking about Facebook friends, so I cannot talk Facebook groups anymore. What else am I going to call it?
It's a trademark thing.
Yeah, which is like over time, I mean, I love Facebook ads, but it's just, I mean, Jason, you know, like last time it's really cowboy town, man. You can do whatever you want. Now, like a bit, and
a bit reject.
Yeah,
I think I totally agree with that.
The you and all that, like sometimes do you want to make more money? Okay, that one sure kena one, sorry.
Confirm sure that one.
Yeah, do you want to maximize your sales? Okay, nothing really harmful, but even do you, that two words together as in the form of a question.
Yeah.
So kena already.
A reminder, we are on Facebook Live.
Yes.
Facebook Live is another thing. It's wow west. That's why even though when we are running ads, right? Even, I mean, Facebook has an exclusion feature that you don't want your ads to appear in live because they definitely understand that live is a lot more fluid, and definitely people will come up with some whatever words they can't control. They can only control after that. They can't be like having the AI monitoring every word that we utter out from our mouth, right?
Sooner, one day.
Later, man.
Yeah,
day.
I mean, that's one thing. Now, I want to bring you to the last question.
Doing Facebook ads is you have to do Facebook Live. You have to do 8 hours of Facebook Live. Every day you just talk non-stop. Maybe that's the secret, you know. Rather than spending so much time in ads, you myself just do Facebook Lives, right?
That's one way.
And
never
another
get-
thing that people will talk a lot is I partially agree. In fact, I quite agree with that strategy, which is, you should start looking at other channels like YouTube,
Yeah.
other places as well, because you can't put all your eggs in one basket, you see.
The
Right,
key is omnipresence. So it's like
Right.
you cannot be just on one platform. Gary Vee always say this, omnipresent, it'll be like 7 platforms. And if you got a team of 50 people, of course you can now. So but Facebook is still a good platform to go. So I think that's why now, even for us, we do more video retargeting. So we only I think Facebook watches the conversion and traffic ads a lot more, because those make the most money. So so if you do the lesser conversion ads, but you target those who have watched your video before as a retargeting campaign, I guess lesser chances. I don't know. Maybe because the amount is lesser, maybe they don't look at it that much. Yeah.
Okay, we have one question from Richard again, but I think Richard is getting a little bit more specific in terms of his things. Yeah, but it's good. But let's try. I mean, I'm not sure whether Maverick has any experience on that, but I think you definitely can relate. What do you suggest as copy for brands looking for recruiting dropshippers? So I think it's I think it's valid, because it's a great policy that you can't really do. Yeah, in terms of dropship and MLM. So what will be your approach when it comes to this?
Okay, this one has nothing to do with copywriting anymore, because it is because they have something against MLM and dropshipping and some financial product, like one time cryptocurrency, and then for a while can, for a while cannot. I don't know. So then you need to start thinking. So Richard, let's say you're trying to recruit dropshippers, right? So then you need to take one step ahead and ask what dropshippers usually search for. So maybe it's like how to get a checklist to find better conversion rate, or conversion rate calculator, or 1,000 exporters you must know in China. Create a lead magnet of sorts and then get them to download it. Because if I'm not a dropshipper, or if I'm not in the e-commerce or logistics space, then why do I want that lead magnet? But let's say I'm in that list, I say, hey man, there's 1,000 other alternative routes to bring from China to America during COVID, for example. So use that lead magnet. You don't have to target dropshippers directly, and you don't have to mention dropshipping at all. But the dropshippers who see it would actually realize that, hey, this is a good tool, and then they will download. Then you have to kind of take them offline and nurture them over emails or something else. So that's why sometimes they say you cannot be the Kung Fu master with only one Kung Fu only. If let's say your Kung Fu is only copywriting, then die. In this case, so a copywriter will give an answer is that, then we need to tabulate the word a bit. But as I guess that separates a copywriter and a marketing consultant, because immediately I know it's a gray zone. Okay, whatever I say, maybe it may not work as well. So why not we change something else entirely? So people always ask us like, why do we call ourselves new profits consultant? Because if a cafe were to engage a digital marketer, so let's say they're already making like 1.5 mil a month and whatnot. So the digital marketer will say, hey, do TikTok ads do YouTube ads and stuff like this. But to add on, if you're already hitting 1.5 million, right, a month, to add the additional 100,000 on top is actually not easy. It's like stacking the Jenga blocks and putting it one block. But so where new profit consultants like us come in will be, we realize that, hey, actually your 79% of your customers actually take away. They don't drink at your cafe, they take away. And most of the time when they drink hot coffee, nobody take the hot coffee and then drink on the spot. They will definitely hold it for half an hour. Why not you put some advertising on the sleeve of the coffee cup, and then you sell the advertising space to other companies like Maybank or Grab, because people will be holding that cup for the next half an hour. So that is the definition of a new profit, because it has nothing to do with marketing the cafes anymore. It's generating new income. So that's the difference between a digital marketer and a marketing consultant. So a lot of people, I just hate it when people try to put all of us in one basket, but it's actually not the same, because we like that one is single-handedly creating one new revenue stream for that cafe. If I notice they have a roastery, so maybe they can roast their own beans and sell it on the side or whatnot. That's an additional revenue stream again.
Yeah. Awesome. I think this is really one of the.
But sometimes the client also, they always expect people, digital marketers like us, like we wake up in the morning, got one blue button, we press the blue button, boom, money comes down. Hey, really, if money come down, I won't be doing this already, I'll be doing something else.
Consulting already.
The magicians, like, wow, just because I get Manfred on my team, boom, sure my sales will go up. Hey, if the product doesn't work, if the business model is koyak, it's not a good business model, marketing is just going to amplify the problem.
How bad it is.
Yeah, I mean, that naturally links us to, I think, before we do the wow, I mean, let's do the wow later on, but I think it rhymes right now. I think let's do that. Share with us more about how can we work with you, Maverick. If there's anyone watching this and they want to actually turn things around, they want to find new profit in their business and all that, how can they work with you? What are the options available? But meanwhile, I'll be posting your Facebook page link onto my chat right now.
Oh, sure.
So please share with us more on how can we work with you.
Okay, so just now we were talking about how in 2021, your personality had to come into place because, believe it or not, you have a friend who opened a restaurant or cafe sell a bit more expensive. But you know what? You still support that friend. Friend ma, kawan ma, your wife will ask, hey Andrew, why I always go, the nasi lemak also not nice, friend support charge a bit more, relationship. In 2021 and moving onwards, actually we already see it this year, the need for human connection is stronger than ever, to be frank. So people will choose brands that they can resonate with the person. Wow, I buy the product, it's not because of the product, it's because of the CEO or because of the founder. I want to become like him. So it becomes an aspirational figure. So each business right now the owner cannot hide behind the brand anymore. Last time, 20, 30 years ago, like you don't know who is Unilever's boss, you don't know who is Pepsi's boss, and that was okay. But now, even the big company, the bosses have to come up. It's part of their KPI to have how many appearances, like to talk where and stuff like this, because they must be able to relate to the person. So for next year, that's why we have the Market Leaders Intensive Program, like in 10 weeks. The idea is to make you a market leader in your space. So let's say you are in the photography space, you are the king of photography. Somehow you are in an area that nobody else can compete with. How do you become a market leader in that area? So that's one way where we help experts, like those solopreneurs, those who are doing it on their own. How do they set up the necessary systems for them to become a market leader? Okay, so they can go more and more. But for those of clients who are already quite established, if you already have a turnover of a year, let's say 1 million sales, give or take about 1 million, and if you're just relying on one revenue stream, just like I mentioned about the cafe business, so that's another consultation thing that we can do. That one we take on the case-to-case basis, because we need to know whether you got new profit to uncover or not. But most of the time, if you have been in business for 3 years, there are actually some gold mines that you're not monetizing. So that's where it's not just me, my business partner, Datuk James. The guy have gone through 4 IPOs, man. So 80 companies, 4 IPOs, 13 industries. So that's where we will come in to map out a new business model for that gold mine we just found. And then, of course, the marketing thing have to come in as well. But that one, I think the business will be quite established. If you're constantly doing 1 to 1.5 mil a year, then it's something that we can talk about.
Awesome. Great. Well, I think it's already about more than, it's over 11 o'clock right now. More than 1 hour already. Wow. Awesome. Now, we just want to quickly wrap one with, the website of the week that Maverick suggested. Maverick, you want to do the honor and share with us, tell us a little bit on how to use the word hippo thing?
Oh, sure, man. So just like I was mentioning that if you want your copywriting to be good, it has to sound nice and all that. But if there's one talent that I have, I really do have poetry writing. It was really bad growing up with that talent because people, you're so girly, Maverick. You write poetry. You
disagree on that.
Yeah, last time people are damn sexist, It's like, oh, you write poetry, you must be a gay already. Yeah, I'm just happy gay as in.
Hey, the girls love it. No,
I'm like, so I write in silence, so I need gift to special girls only, So Then I realized that, man, my copywriting skills is because of that talent over there. So I can make words rhyme quite easily because it's a talent. But this bugger who created this website basically took that talent that I have and make it free. Ads lah, huh? So what you can do is that, let's say at the top, you can see stuff like synonyms, similar words, thesaurus, definition, rhymes. Rhymes is good. So you click on rhymes. So let's say you have to find a word that rhymes with terminate. Then you find it. So you come up with the list like replicate, aggregate, alternate. So I guess that, well, if you want to get terminated, then make sure you get separated first before you replicate your, sperm or whatnot, and then accelerate your income. So that's how you find the words over here, which is kind of cool. But this one I have to give credit to the founder of Swim in 12, EJ, also a Kelantanese like me as well. So he was the one who recommended this. I'm like, man, this is such a big cheat sheet. So why this is useful is because, okay, so sometimes, let me give you an example of how we can, okay, this is something that we did last year. So when we still can do live events, I think, Andrew, you were there. So, sorry, let me just.
That's the new profit meetings, right?
Oh yeah, okay. So now this is another one, but this one I use it as well. So if you notice at the bottom here, so that's conquer new markets, create new offerings, close new sales, all CCC. So this one, most people won't notice, but when they read that time, they will see the pattern. Okay, so people human beings, we are always looking for patterns like, very unfamiliar. Is it something that I know before? So that's why like this C, then how do you find? So you can basically use words over here. Also, last time we had this program called New Profits Masterclass. So how do you outdo, outlast, and outperform? Out. So it sounds, so there's a certain rhythm to it. So if you can use word hippo, just play around with it in the next, rather than playing the new PS5 or Nintendo Switch. This is a good tool for you to, because you may think that, this one is poetry, it's nothing to do with copywriting, but believe it, when you do, if you find the word that sound nice, because writing one sentence is easy, but putting 2 or 3 sentences together is actually quite hard because you need to make it gel and stuff like this. And you don't have a lot of time. That's the sad part, because people are giving you like 2-3 seconds of attention only. But if you sound nice, because when they read it in their head, it sounds nice, there's a higher chance that they will continue reading. So this is something that a lot of copywriting, they call themselves gurus, I don't know what's that, that they don't teach, because I realized that they will give you templates and whatnot, but this is something that if you can master this part, it becomes a lot easier for you to create copywriting. And then some of you may ask how to find words like conquer, create, close. You know what, for you guys who are listening in, there's another, this one comes to my blog, but it's also my cheat sheet actually. So there's 254 words that I've, this is my personal cheat sheet. Anytime when I create benefit statements, I'll come here. So there's 254 words that you can use to kind of like highlight your benefits and whatnot. So I'm just going to give you the link in the Facebook as well. Yeah, so these are little tools that you can check out. I mean, the second one is mine, so it's self-plugging.
Wow, we got a bonus from Maverick.
Yeah, it's just that because I asked you to find a word, you were like,
first came late.
Yeah, we always use the word like learn, but now you can. So the human mind is very funny. You cannot use the same word all the time, but there must be a rhythm or a pattern to different words. Okay, that's the thing that is hard. So one of the reasons why I created this list is because, like, if you notice, like, optimize your profile, expand your connection, strategize your content, become an all-star. So the first word is all action driven and it's not repeated at all. Okay, because I don't want to show the repetition over there, but I don't want to use the same word maximize, increase all the time. So that's where this list basically came around. Cool.
Awesome.
I'm going to rewrite my sales page
Wow,
again.
that really makes the, that really makes this episode the one of the most important
Last
episodes.
one of the decade, man. Had to
Last one in the decade, right? Awesome. Thank you so much, Maverick.
Who knows, whatever religions thing that I mentioned, your Facebook page gonna close. This will be the last video.
Then it's okay. Then I'll turn to YouTube already.
We go YouTube.
Yeah, if you see my page poof become a pumpkin, then you have to follow me on YouTube.
or something, yeah.
Awesome. This is really one of a great episode. And Dindo was saying Maverick is sick. Dindo is from Philippines. We have a bunch of friends coming from all around the region. So if you guys want to learn from Maverick, Maverick has been really teaching awesome stuff on his Facebook page. I've already linked the link in the chat. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll be posting the link together in the description. Make sure you hit on that. And is there any last thing you guys want to share? Want to ask Maverick? Yeah, I know he's tired and it's already like 11-ish already. So is there anything else, guys?
One of the things, the resolution that didn't happen this year, I wanted to sleep and wake up on different days. I think Andrew, I mentioned that before.
Yes.
That sounds
sleep and wake up on different days, because most of the time, I don't know about the rest of you, but the fact that you are still awake at 11, and you need to bet that you sleep and wake up on the same day.
So, very likely. So
I like that.
Resolution I throw off. I'll try to, but I'm actually a night owl. So I'm one that is, I can focus very well in the morning. That's why I wake up at 5 or 6 to do my work. But I'm the most creative at night. My mind's the most.
Then what? Then you sleep in the afternoon. That's why you work until 12 o'clock, right? Then after you sleep.
Yeah.
That should be the thing. Awesome.
All
right.
Interesting area to explore.
Definitely. Super awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Maverick. And for anyone who wants to work with Maverick, remember to hit the follow. Just follow his Facebook page and, just talk to him and see whatever he's actually coming up, right? His programs are always very much sought after. You really have to lock in whenever they release anything. So that wraps our last episode of the Tree Marketer Show for the decade. Thank you so much for being with us. It's already the 15th episode. Next week, it's going to be the new decade, and we're going to have episode 16, and hopefully we're going to hit 100 episodes, one day. But today, thank you so much for being here, Maverick. And what you're watching, Maverick. Yeah, it's really an honor for being,
No, thanks for having me.
3 marketers to have you. Okay.
There's 4 marketers in the room. Already.
Yeah, today 4 marketers, and usually it's like we have to. Yeah, I think we should probably consider changing the name. But 3, and then we always have the 4th. I think that's the idea, right?
I don't know, but threesome sound a bit better. Foursome is...
Yeah, like you say, 3 is better than 4. I have to kick off the 1, and that's the bonus, right? I think that's the thing.
Okay, we do a 3 + 1.
Yeah, I think that sounds right? Okay, I think that wraps this episode of the Tree Marketer Show. Thank you so much for staying with us up to now. And really, from all of us, Happy New Year. We definitely 21 is going to be the best year for you yet, and let's work hard on it. But with that said, enjoy your holiday wherever you are, because this is where you can chill a bit and make your 2021 count. So with that said, this is gonna be the end of the episode 15 of the Tree Marketer Show. See you next week, same time Wednesday at 10 p.m. Thank you so much, guys. See you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.